Most of us think we choose who we love. The truth is, we were taught. Not in a classroom, not with words. In the first few years of life, before you could explain what you were feeling, your brain built a blueprint, a map for how close relationships work, whether they're safe, whether people stay, whether you're worth being loved without conditions. And that map? It's probably still running right now. Tonight. In your relationship. Not all of this will apply to you, and recognizing yourself in one of these doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. A team of researchers followed 1,364 children all the way into adulthood, tracking their early relationships and then measuring how they loved as grown-ups. Dugan and colleagues, publishing in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2025, found something striking: how close you felt to your mother in childhood predicted. How secure you'd feel in every close relationship as an adult, with partners, friends, everyone. Here are 8 things your parents may have done, and what they wired you to do in love. 1. The inconsistent comfort. We've all had the experience of needing someone and not knowing if they'd show up. For some of us, that was childhood, a parent who was warm one day and somewhere else emotionally the next. Present in the room, but unavailable inside it. What that wires into you is a constant low-level scan, checking your partner's mood before you say anything, reading the room before you reach out, bracing for the moment the warmth disappears. This can feel like hypervigilance, like you can never fully relax into someone's love, because part of you is always waiting for it to change. 2. The dismissal. You're fine. Stop being so sensitive. There's nothing to cry about. If your feelings were regularly redirected, minimized, or treated as inconvenient, you learned something specific. You learned that your emotional needs were too much, that needing comfort was weakness, that the safest thing was to handle it yourself. This might look like struggling to ask your partner for help, going quiet when you're hurt instead of saying so, feeling almost physically uncomfortable when someone tries to take care of you. That's not you being difficult. That's an old lesson doing exactly what it was built to do. 3. The walking on eggshells home. Some of us grew up measuring a parent's mood before we walked through the door, reading the energy of a room instantly, knowing which version of them we'd get today. That skill, and it is a skill, it kept you safe, doesn't switch off. It follows you into adult relationships. You become fluent in your partner's moods. You adjust yourself around them. You apologize quickly, sometimes for things that aren't yours to apologize for. This can feel like being easygoing, accommodating, but underneath, it's exhausting. 4. The love that had conditions. I'm proud of you when I love you, but the love that arrived when you performed well, stayed quiet, didn't need too much. What that builds is a specific fear. That love is something you earn, not something you have. So you work for it in adult relationships. You go above and beyond. You monitor whether you're doing enough. You feel a quiet dread that if you stop performing, the warmth will withdraw. Hazan and Shaver, publishing in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 1987, were among the first to show that the same attachment system built in childhood maps, almost exactly, onto how we love as adults. The patterns don't disappear, they migrate. 5. The parent who needed you. Some children become the emotional support for their parent, the one who listens, the one who cheers them up, the one who learned to read adult emotions before they'd finished growing their own. We call this parentification, and it's subtle. It doesn't always feel harmful because it can feel meaningful, important, like you matter. But what it wires into you is difficulty receiving. In adult relationships, you become the steady one, the one who asks how they are before anyone thinks to ask you, and the one who genuinely doesn't know what to do when someone turns the attention back around. 6. The absence. Not always physical. Sometimes a parent was there every day and still somehow absent. Distracted. Checked out. Too caught up in their own pain to have space for yours. Emotional absence in childhood teaches a quiet lesson. Don't expect people to notice you without being told. Don't expect to be a priority. And so in adult relationships, you either disappear, becoming smaller, needing less, or you overcorrect, making sure you're impossible to miss. Either way, you're responding to the same original silence. 7. The home where conflict was dangerous. If disagreements escalated in your house, if raised voices meant something bad was coming, or if silence after an argument lasted for days, your nervous system learned to treat conflict as a threat, not a normal part of two people figuring things out. A threat. So now, when your partner raises their voice slightly or goes quiet after an argument, your body responds like it's back in that house. Not because you're overreacting, because your nervous system is using old data. 8. The love you never saw modeled. We learn love by watching, and if what you watched was distance or control or two people coexisting without really connecting, you didn't get a map for what healthy actually looks like. This one is quieter than the others. You might not be able to point to something that went wrong. You just grew up without a reference point. And now you're building the thing in real time without ever having seen it done. That's harder than anyone tells you. And it's more common than you'd think. If any of these landed, the inconsistent comfort, the conditional love, the eggshell walking, I want you to hear this. Noticing the blueprint doesn't mean you're stuck with it. That 2025 study by Dugan and her team found something that gets missed in the headline. They said there's always an opportunity to change. That new experiences, a secure friendship, a safe relationship, even understanding the pattern itself can revise the map. You didn't choose the blueprint. But you're the one holding it now, and knowing what's on it is the first thing that actually helps. Which one of these felt most like yours? If this helps something land, subscribe to Attached. Every video on this channel is built around one question. What is your partner actually trying to tell you?